Guys, I've got a list with all the prices for the damaged parts on my wrecked Lamborghini Huracan. And we will go over this list and you will probably be shocked on some of the prices because there are things where you don't expect them to be that expensive. The overall sum of these pieces is 6 figures. The prices are officially from Lamborghini, so from a dealership here in Hamburg. I calculated them for you in dollars. I don't know how it is in the States, but that's how much they cost here in Germany. Before I start, I want to say thank you about the feedback in the last video. We got over 20,000 views, and if you are new to this channel, maybe subscribe if you want to see me rebuilding my Lamborghini Huracan. In the first video I explained what actually happened. I had a crash, obviously. In the second video I went over the steps we did to take everything apart. It's time to look over this list because I will have to order parts. It's not yet clear if I will order everything from Lamborghini or maybe I will have a body kit on that car. And I have big chances to put a lot more carbon fiber in this car, which might make it worth it, but well, maybe not. I mean, let me tell you the prices for the whole repair now. So I've got also a vehicle report where somebody looked at it and he said it's a totaled car, so it actually doesn't make sense to rebuild it because getting a new one with the same kilometers or mileage would be cheaper. But yeah, probably I will do it anyways. Yeah, the overall price would be $213,000. But as I'm doing most of the work myself, obviously I'm saving some of the work hours. And yeah, it will be cheaper. And of course, if I order all parts together, I will get some discount maybe. Yeah, let me show you what makes this repair so expensive. I will go over the big parts first. So all the parts around the car are actually broken and they are quite expensive. I'm actually having another project where I'm working on an Audi A3. Price of a Fender maybe like 80 or 90 euros. It's different here. I will show you. This is a Lamborghini Huracan Fender. So this piece sits somehow like this. As you can see, it has some big damage there and I will probably get a replacement, but this will cost me, here's the price in euro, that's the price in dollars, $3,160 for one Fender. I need two. The other one, it's here. Doesn't look much better, but well, 3,000 euros for one body part. That's not the most expensive. The most expensive body parts are the side panels, which you can see here. Side panel, 8,323. That's a lot. And if I get like Mansouri carbon fiber parts, I don't know if they are actually expensive or like from other tuners. And again, I need two of them, so $16,000 for the rear fenders. That's not all. Let's have a closer look to the rear bumper. So this is the rear bumper. It's actually made of two parts. So this is the lower rear bumper, this is the upper rear bumper. And you have prices for them here, rear bumper, lower part. Together they cost $4,777. The upper part, so this thing is actually more expensive than this part, I guess. The naming is quite complicated. I'm not yet sure if I'm willing to pay that just because of this damage here. But that's not it for the rear bumper alone. Because we have the Grille. I don't know what this actually means. It doesn't have a German meaning. I don't know if it has an English meaning. Rear bumper. And this thing costs also $2,463. And my guess is that this part is actually this thing, which sits on top of the rear bumper, or which would make more sense actually, this thing. It is made out of metal because it sits right behind the exhaust system. And I think this thing alone costs almost $2,500. But I don't need it because this is totally fine. Also the other part I just showed you is also totally fine. So I can do some savings there. So a car comes also with a front bumper and this is broken as well a little bit, as you can tell here. And on the other side also some damage here. but this is actually mostly the paint, or actually I have also a protection film on it, so maybe I can peel it off here somewhere. Maybe I can reuse it. See, underneath it's actually okay. Yeah. Might be the better option because the front bumper actually costs almost $4,000. $3,850 to be accurate. And if you want to have the Lamborghini logo, you will have to pay $324. That's an expensive logo. One piece is still missing. That is the, what is it called? I had to look that up, and I had to find it actually in this offer. The sill. And that's quite weird. These things belong together because I looked it up. A rocker cover is actually this. At least is that what I found when I searched for rocker cover in the Google image search. But the engine is totally fine. I won't need that. My guess is that these two things come together. It would cost me $5,000 for the sill. That's, I think, the right English word for it. Where are mine? I will definitely have to get new ones because mine look like they are really broken. These are mine, and there are the other parts. They got the biggest damage. Well, actually not. The biggest damage or the most expensive damage is still the frame. And talking about the frame, I'm not 100% sure if the prices for the new frame are in here. There's one part which is called rear end assembly. And there's also front frame assembly. Maybe this both together is the whole new frame because I will have to get a new frame, but I'm not 100% sure. It's also not that easy to actually get a new frame. The dealership actually has to send a request to Lamborghini if they can order them. I hope this works in the end. This is also so strange. Normally they write it in an upper letter, then they write it in small letter. Then they have suddenly something German. Rathausschale vorne links. There is no Rathausschale vorne rechts, which is right, and links is left. But if this is the rear frame, it would cost $8,223. And if I don't know what this is, it's $5,907 for the frame. And then I actually have to pay the work to get it back on the whole car. Because that's something I won't do. Because we have to do some welding work here. I've never done that, and this really needs to be perfect. Because between this frame actually sits the engine. And yeah, that has to sit safe. And this probably will cost some money. There are not many companies which are allowed to do that from Lamborghini. I talked about that in another video, so I won't go deep into that now. I will continue with the prices. But this will probably be the most expensive work and the most expensive part of this car. And also the most complicated, because I actually have to find a company who does this for me. First, I will have to get this done, otherwise I can't continue, which is annoying. Let's continue. There are other parts which are also quite expensive, and I actually left out some parts which are actually a tiny bit cheaper than the rear fenders, and that are the doors. Here are my doors, and I think the parts which I would order are only these outside parts. The inside is still totally fine. I mean, here's something got a little bit broken from the airbags, but these parts cost $8,135. I will have to get two, obviously, because there are two doors and both are broken. And it's not really that I can save them. They actually open there and the metal is really badly broken. We will have to replace the rear mirrors. I think they were like 3,000 euros together or something. I don't think that they are on the list. So, as I said, there are some things which are not here. These are the doors, door seal, weather stripe. No. These are the outside mirrors. It comes in a kit, and then it's cheaper to order them in this kit than getting them one by one, because I think one was $1,500 or euros around that, and the kit just costs $2,619, and they are slightly different, but yeah, it's a kit which makes it more sporty or something, I don't know, even sporty than it is already. Sounds exciting. And then there are two things which are broken in the inside, which I definitely have to replace. And that is because, let me throw these instructions on the other side, the airbags popped. Actually, let me sit in the car. I didn't sit here for a while. It got dusty a little bit. Damn it, I have to clean it. But it still smells like it used to smell. Oh damn, I miss this a little bit, driving this amazing car. I really love the Huracan. It was always my dream to get it. It's kind of sad to see it that way, but on the other side it's quite exciting to work on it and know so much more about the car. But I don't want to get nostalgic now. Yeah, the thing why I have to do some work in the inside is because of the airbag. And now guess how much one of these seats costs? Well, I need the price list, I'm not 100% sure. As I search for them, just think about it, what would you pay for them? What's your limit? They cost just one, $7,700. And now you probably ask, okay, why would you pay $7,700 for seats which are actually totally fine and with just the airbags popped? Well, that's what Lamborghini says. When the airbag comes out and they are broken here, you will have to get new ones, which is quite sad because they are actually also in the special edition. So here's this L63, which stands for Lamborghini 1963, the founding year. And the stitching is also quite special. Hey doc, I'm not sure if I will pay that money. There are two options here. Maybe I will find a company who puts back in the airbag. I mean, there will be some standardized Volkswagen airbags, I guess. Or the other thing is, I mean, I like them, they look good. But the problem with the seats is that they don't really hold you to the side. I mean, I'm a huge person, I can barely sit in here, but it's still fine. But it doesn't hold you to the side. And maybe I want to get some real race seats in here. I still want to drive long distance with it and not just on the racetrack. I'm not sure if I will ever go back on the racetrack with this. Yeah, but that's the price for the seats. And then there comes one other thing. Seatbelts. They don't snap back, as you can see. They are fixed now because I had an accident and they just stayed in that position. And now, same game as with the seats. What would you pay for Lamborghini seatbelts? Remember, Lamborghini seatbelts, not just any random seatbelts. They are from Lamborghini. Let me find them for you. Oh God. Here it is. They cost a solid $1,100. That's quite a lot. The good thing is, before the crash, I was thinking about replacing them with colorful seatbelts because they would fit actually to the braking pillars. Orange seatbelts, which are standardized to that car. I think they were a lot cheaper than $1,100, so maybe $400, $500. And then I had amazing orange seatbelts, which would also fit here to the stitching. I think that would be great. And I can save some bucks. So now that we sat inside the car and I showed you everything around the car, we have to take a look at the chassis. And as you can see in the front, I didn't build it off yet because I need two people to do that. In the back, it's already off. And we will start in the back with the pieces. These things are actually the most expensive here in the front. I will get to that later when we come back here. So this is the full chassis. And as you can tell, we have two control arms. That's what they are called on the offer, but I already hear that they are actually called Wishbones. At least Christian von Koenigsegg said Wishbones, and that's what I also first found. These Wishbones, one is here, and as you can tell, it's bent really badly. And the other one is here on top. This is the lower one, which is also a little bit bigger and looks stronger. This is the upper one. They cost 429 euros. I think that's for the upper one. And then we have 444 for the lower one. So this piece of metal costs $444. Then we have the drive shaft, which are these. They are quite expensive. They cost $988, which is a little bit confusing because when we come to the front, they just cost drive shaft $539. The Lamborghini is able to put 50% of its power to the front and 50% to the back, so I'm not sure why they are in the front cheaper, because Actually in the front they are longer than in the back, and they should be the same stiffness, I guess. We have the wheel bracket, which is actually this metal part, so which holds all the control arms together. That costs $419. I always need two, obviously, for both sides. Then we have the wheel hub, which sits somewhere here. Oh, here it is. This is the wheel hub. It spins. And that costs $214, which is quite cheap compared to the other things. But now we come to the most expensive part of this, and that is actually the shock absorber. A cable goes in here because you can change the mode. They can be soft or a little bit harder. And that thing costs $1,895. Good news, I can leave one thing out. The stabilizer is listed here. Ah, damn it, just saved $243. There's the stabilizer and it's actually totally fine. Okay, let's go to the front. And there it's a little bit easier to show you everything because it's still connected and hanging on the car. It basically works the same here. So we have a wishbone here and we have a wishbone there. In the middle there's the drive shaft, and there you can see how tiny this actually is. And we definitely have to get a new drive shaft here because that's bent. Prices here in the front are actually much higher. The bigger wishbone here at the bottom costs $725. The smaller one costs $614. Only the drive shaft is cheaper with $539. But let's get to the most expensive thing here, the shock absorber. And as you can tell, there's something on top here. And this is actually the lift system of the car. So I can lift the nose when I go into a garage or something. And that's probably what makes this thing so expensive. One of them costs 4,560 euros. That's a lot of money. And I will probably have to get new ones. I mean, I can still check them if they're okay, but at least here they are definitely broken. And I'm not sure if I can just replace this thing. Another thing which I have to consider is the steering system. I don't think that there's any problem with it. We will also have to check that because that's also a quite expensive part on the car. The steering system costs $6,902. It sits down there. Almost $7,000 is quite a lot. We will have to check if this is actually still straight. Okay, so I think that were most of the expensive parts. Let me have a look. No, there's actually one thing which we hopefully don't have to replace, and we just saw it. The brakes. I think I said that already in the last video how much they cost. It's quite ridiculous. These are carbon ceramic brakes, and we already built them out at the back. And this brake I'm currently holding, hold your breath, cost $5,000. Okay, I better not drop them because they are really, really sensitive. And you have to replace them when just one is broken. So when the back breaks, you don't have to replace them in the front, but you have to replace both in the back. The back brake is obviously the cheaper one because it's smaller. The one in the front costs $470 more. The rims are broken as well. This is how all the rims look. I can throw them away. They are official Lamborghini rims. They are expensive, but they are not like hyper expensive. One rim in the front costs $1,638. And in the back they cost $1,779. When you sum that up, that's almost $7,000. It's a lot of money again. I would probably look for some other rims, which not every second Lamborghini has. Also, I have to get new tires. There are many, many smaller things which I also have to replace. For example, the cooler. But there will also be other things like I have to get new screws. Not all of them, but some are broken, and I will have to get some more plastic parts. So there are many, many small things which are not listed on here. But as you can tell, for example, the brakes, we will have to check them. So it's not clear if I will have to pay all of that. It now sums up to $160,000 without tax. So that's quite a bit. And then I don't have paint on the parts. I still have to clarify everything about the frame in the back, where it's done, how it's done. And until then I actually can't even order anything because when they say it's not possible, I mean, I had the frame checked and the frame in the front is totally fine, but this needs to be done. And I need help from another company there. So first I will have to check that before I continue working on this thing. Let's end this video with the vehicle report. And there was one company which offered a price for all these things you see here. They would pay me $63,000 for a car which used to be worth way above $200,000, which quite sucks. That's like crashing and poof. But I'm looking forward to the project because I learned so much doing all that stuff, taking it apart. And of course, assembling everything together is something completely different. If you want to see future steps of this project, go down, subscribe, and then you will always get an update when I continue working. Look at my Instagram account. I have daily updates there and all that kind of stuff. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something, and yeah, you know some more things about Lamborghini. I love Lamborghini, as you can tell. I love this car and I want to see it back on the roads. We will see. Thanks for watching. Bye.